right. So, the stuff we're supposed to talk about.
Yes.
Tell me your opinions on Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
Not really. That would be miserable. I would.
Oh, God.
With all due respect and love to you, I don't care what you think about Donald Trump.
This will turn into a very gloomy conversation.
But anything else in the universe that you want to talk about,
Yes.
I'd be happy to. So just to kind of give the students kind of a background, you were in a band in high school. You just recently graduated high school.
Yep.
And so now you're going to college, and you were in a band.
I was in a band.
They broke up for reasons that we'll talk about in a little bit. And then, so now you're basically a solo artist.
Pretty much.
But, okay, cool. How comfortable do you feel with the term solo artist, describing yourself?
I mean, I am kind of a solo artist. I like to collab, but at the same time, I mean, it's me doing everything by myself in my room almost 99.9% of the time.
Yeah.
So it's not terrible, but I miss hanging out with the guys. Can't really do that right now. But
Yeah. Yeah, but like as you see yourself as a professional musician.
I don't know about professional. I think I'm getting there slowly.
Okay. All right, cool.
Slowly but surely, I'm getting there.
Nice. All right, but you're comfortable with solo artist.
Yes.
Okay, just not a professional solo artist. That's interesting. Okay, cool. I don't know anyone like out of all the people that I've interviewed. Got to figure out my headphone situation here. Out of all the people that I've interviewed, like no one feels like they're really there yet. You know, there's that constant like, as soon as I get to.
Yeah, I feel like I'll never feel like I'm really there.
Yeah. So you just keep doing your thing.
Just keep going.
Yes, and if you don't make $1 trillion at it, then you are just as professional as 99.9% of the other artists that are out there.
That's
So
true.
yeah, but the real question is, I think if you're doing what you enjoy, and you're getting your bills paid.
Yep. New experience for me.
Yeah. Oh, paying bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. But
like,
you're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I quit my job.
Yeah.
So I go full time on the solo artist thing.
Yes.
I was like, okay, yeah, that's right. I can't.
Yes.
Money doesn't last forever anymore.
Right.
And I had a decent amount of money, but it goes by faster than you think after you start having to actually pay for things.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Cool.
So I'm gonna be not going like even I would it's barely part time back at my old job, and then I'll be busking.
Yeah.
And I'll try to make 300 or so a week, which will be plenty enough for me at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't have a ton of bills or anything.
That's the one, dude. Keep that down.
I know.
Don't get that evil debt.
I'm kind of enjoying it while it lasts,
Yeah. Well, and as long as you can keep your expenses down, then
I'm trying to save.
great.
I'm trying to save up as much as possible.
Yeah.
I haven't started a Roth IRA as
Dude.
early as possible.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Just
Just
getting
max it out. Everything you can stick into there.
Yep.
That's great. All right, cool. So then you got to pay the bills. So you're doing stuff to pay the bills, but even part of your bills are being paid by the music that you play.
Yeah, I would say portion of it. Like back in high school, we made a lot of money, and when it comes to bills, I guess like that I use the money that I got saving from my portion of the band fund and my work savings as well, and that's pretty much all the money I've been using to buy studio equipment, to pay for gas, and other things.
Yeah. You were playing music for money.
Yeah.
Yep, and selling T-shirts.
Yes, we made a lot of money off T-shirts.
Okay, man, that is the opposite of all of my experience. Tell me about what you did there.
Well, we made our first design, and we purchased about maybe 100 T-shirts. We got some sweatshirts in there, different sizes, men's, women's, and even children eventually.
And what website did you go to?
It was AlliedT-shirts.com.
Cool.
was the first place we went.
They might be out of business by the time someone watches this, but whatever.
True.
Okay.
And then I was like, my dad was helping me like notice, because I didn't know before how online like businesses worked. Like when you buy things at a bigger amount, a higher quantity, they get cheaper.
Right.
Like so when I was buying t-shirts, like, okay, let's just buy a bunch of them and let's make them as cheap as possible. So we picked a solid color and put the text over it. That was it. And then we bought them for probably about $4 or $5 a piece, I think. And we sold them for $20 a piece, and we sold all of them.
Yeah.
And we made like $2,000.
That's fantastic.
It was amazing.
Even all the sizes you got.
Everything. We sold every single T-shirt.
That's so cool.
And then we got some more, and we sold those. And then we got some more, and we sold all the men's. And I'm stuck with women's spaghetti straps and little kid t-shirts.
Yeah. Okay.
And just hanging in a bag somewhere.
Right. Cool. All right. And that was selling those at the shows that you played.
Yep.
What shows were you playing? Eventually, too, I want to make sure we get into social media stuff because you kind of decided, hey, I'm going to be a solo artist, and then you got like 1,000 followers on Instagram in the first like couple weeks or whatever, and you seem to be blowing that out. So that's great.
It was a kind of a brain explosion figuring all that out after school ended, because I didn't realize how really easy it is to just kind of harness that ability. Even though I'm not like quite there,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely got a good start, I feel, with the social media marketing stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's talk about that in a second. First,
Okay.
tell me about these venues that you were playing. How many people are you playing to? And how many members are in your band? How do you guys decide money issues?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your experience.
There was times where we would play a show and we'd be playing for the other bands performing. You know,
Okay.
like there would be nobody, absolutely no one. And then there would be shows where we would play.
When you say absolutely no one,
I mean like just the bands. No, like it was just
Literally
the bands were there.
no fans.
Literally
Yeah.
no fans
yeah, okay,
there.
good.
Like there was like maybe 2 or 3 bands on the lineup.
Yeah.
And they would be in the audience.
Yeah.
And maybe the sound guy.
Right.
And that's it.
Maybe the sound guy.
But
He gets disgusted and takes off.
That happened. That happened. I actually, that happened to me at this one venue called The Colony so many times, where we would be like doing a sound check, and the sound check would be over, and we would like look for him, and be like, wait, where'd he go?
Wow, really?
He
Was he
just-
like also the bartender or something? Or
I don't know. It was the venue just got redone, and
Okay.
because it shut down because of I think it had a poor income. Maybe I don't really know the full story.
that'll do it.
But yeah, so the owner, one of my dad's friends actually owns this place called the Blue Lamp, and I think she bought the Colony
Okay.
and redid it.
Yeah.
And now it's really successful and it looks great.
And their sound guy stays around
And
or no?
probably this time.
Okay,
I hope
that'd be
so.
good.
I haven't played a show there in a couple months, but
Okay.
but yeah, back to the previous point.
Yeah. So the shows, how many people are
That's
you playing
right.
to? What are some of your bigger shows? Because
Okay.
the photos you have of your band.
Yeah,
are
we've
very
played
impressive.
some shows where there was a few hundred people. There was our biggest crowd came from our performances at school, but we played a lot at the Holy Diver and Boardwalk, which are more popular venues downtown.
Okay.
Especially when there were big headliners like one of them was Assuming We Survive. They're a slightly big band. They play Warped Tour and they do other tours and stuff. And then the members of Third Eye Blind. Ex-members of that, we opened for them at one point. They had a different singer because I think that's why they split up or something a while back.
Sure. That'll
Um,
do it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we opened for them, and we had a pretty big crowd for that. But there was a lot like album release shows or just shows where a bunch of bands similar to each other would get together. There's a few bands in the industry that are really kind of, we have this little like circle, know? So when we play shows together, those people come, and it's like you see the same people every time, and sometimes you see some more, which is really cool too. But yeah, started out small. The audience just kept growing, and but yeah, there's still always those shows where it'd be tiny.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Percentage wise, maybe that's not fair. Yeah, let's go for it. Percentage wise, what percent of the time were you playing to what you would consider a tiny audience?
Probably half the time.
Yeah. Okay.
Probably half the time.
Those are some good numbers. Actually,
Really?
half the time, sure, absolutely.
I mean, most of our shows, we usually were able to get 40 to 60 people there on average.
Yeah.
And I would consider anywhere under 20 a small audience.
Okay, dude. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I would say the vast majority of playing experiences in the universe are people who begged their way into a venue and then are annoying the patrons who are there trying to drink the coffee or whatever.
yeah, the cool thing is that's kind of how it starts. You kind of have to beg. You kind of have to persist a little bit. But there's actually a lot of very supportive venues, especially in the teen music industry, which is really cool. They're a lot more supportive to the teen bands,
Yeah.
I think, than they are with some of the more adult bands, because they want to give the youth a shot,
Yeah.
But after just playing a decent amount of shows, they just start hitting you up sometimes. Like it's pretty cool. Like you'll get an email from the Holy Diver, or we'll get an email from this place called the Silver Orange, and they'll be like, "Hey, we got this act. I think you guys will do well in it. You guys seem like you would fit in this lineup," and they'll put us on the list.
That's cool. And you guys are good. You guys are.
We were. I think we were okay. I mean, I don't think we were like one of the best bands in SAC or anything, but I think we stood out from the crowd a little bit. So
I can't tell the difference between you and some of the best bands in Sacramento. I'm not personally into the genre a lot, but like it sounds high enough quality. Like it passes the threshold of like not amateurish.
Yeah, we really worked hard. Like we practiced a lot, and we really tried to get out there, and we tried to be a little bit original. You know, we had this thing where we would go to shows, and every single show we would do something insane, like just like different that would shock everybody. There was for example, we started bringing a headless pinata to our shows because at one of the shows we had a pinata and it got destroyed, and we wanted to keep bringing it. And so that came the thing where we would bring unicorn pinatas or a dinosaur pinata. And another one, for example, we went to a show with our shirts off, and we had taped our business cards around our body, and we would let them pick it off of us while we were playing. Like we would just show up and be shirtless with a bunch of business cards on. They'd be like, "What are these? Who are these guys?" You know? And then they would remember who we were just because we would do something that nobody else thought of first.
Yes, I did that recently. It did not go well. It was memorable, but it did not go well.
Yeah, like when people thought of us when we were about to play, they'd be like, "Oh, it's the goofy guys from Knockout," because we were goofy. We were kind of like a fun little teen band that you could dance and you could vibe to.
Yeah,
you could relate to. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool, and it'll be interesting in this next phase because. As you get out of that, I mean, you're still young-ish. Mm-hmm. You just graduated, so you could technically be in that.
I'm the writing style has changed for me a lot. I went from, it's kind of just like fun party teen angst music to more like kind of more serious toned life realization music, which I think is kind of what's happening right now at this point of life, like 18 to 21.
Yes.
Right? That's the whole life realization.
Can't quit my job.
Yeah.
I have to pay my bills.
I know when we come back together and we do another project, they'll have a different tone to it for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and also you don't have that like we're just a young teen band. Help support us or whatever. Like you gotta be with all due respect. Mm-hmm. You got to be good.
Yeah.
Like, you got to be really good because being good for your age is a thing when you're young.
It only lasts a little.
Yeah. But like once you're, into your 20s, 30s, like no one's going to say some 30-year-old is like good for their age. Like you just got to be good compared to everyone else in the universe. But yeah, if you're, 15, 16, 13, 14, like you can be half decent. Like, oh, wow, that person really stands out. So it's an interesting next phase you're going into because the quality really has to
it keeps going
jump. I mean, it helps that you are already really good at what you're doing, but you just got to keep developing those skills.
So I practice hours every single day because that's the only way I feel like I can do it is if I constantly work hard at it. Because I feel like if I slack off, not only do I get depressed when I slack off because I feel like I could be doing more, but I just don't like feeling like like I can't do something. I want to do it all.
Right.
I like to challenge myself. Like I love challenging myself to be better at just anything that I enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and I think that's what you see in most of the elite players is like there's a thing of like, well, I enjoy the music and stuff, but there's also that like sick perverted drive to like be better. Like I just can't I can't live with myself if I'm as good as I was yesterday.
Yeah, I'm not like one of those guys. I mean, I used to be because 13, 14, but I don't like to sit down and just binge watch anymore. Like if I'm binge watching now, I'm like playing guitar at the same time, or I'm like tapping, or I'm practicing the piano techniques or something.
Yep.
Because when I sit there and I get tired and I just lay down and I binge watch, which occasionally I kind of have to lay down and watch something. I can't just constantly work. Got to get my rest sometimes. But I feel like so bored. I hate that feeling of just like complete boredom.
Yeah.
And I just want to keep working.
Yeah.
I got to keep myself busy.
Yeah.
So I'm doing this thing like 12 hours a day now, the YouTube thing.
Yeah. Man, that's good. That's
it's working well for me, I think.
It will continue to work well for you. Yeah, as long as it doesn't take over and make you a severe alcoholic. Having that drive will be really helpful.
I'm pretty smart at that end of the spectrum too. So
I guess you're 18, huh? I'm not supposed to be talking about alcohol. Oops. So, yeah. Anyway, tell us about this social media stuff. Your experience with that, because you're already young. So a lot of a majority of my students are like 25 to 30, 40-ish, and so that group of people feels very much like, well, of course you're in social media. You're young. It all comes naturally to you. Tell us about some of the things where surprising to you, things that took work, things that came easily to you? Where'd you find success? Where'd you run into pitfalls, unexpected?
I'll start with the pitfalls first.
Okay.
Twitter is my biggest pitfall.
Twitter sucks.
I do not understand Twitter. I do not like Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't get it at all. I can't seem to do anything on it. I mean, I tried. I used some of the same strategies as I would with Instagram or Facebook, and I got like 30 followers.
Yeah.
And it's because it's like every interface, every algorithm is different, but I couldn't get Twitter down. I don't know what it is. Like you have to, when it comes to Twitter, I feel like it's all about retweets. You know, when you get your post retweeted, the people seeing that person following see it, and then so on and so on. And I couldn't get it. I don't know how to get it, and I don't know if I care that much at this point.
No,
so I kind of gave up on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's smart too. My recommendation for everyone is always pick what you enjoy, what makes sense to you, and then just like make that your platform.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like building your business on a platform that can just shut you down.
Creating your own platform.
Yeah. But whatever that venue is that you're really familiar with, really exploiting that. So
what I'm really hoping for is that I can build that online presence and that the fans are there kind of just for me, so that when I have that audience, I can build, my own thing, and they'll go to that instead of relying on all these third-party platforms.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, smart. So tell us what it is.
Well, Instagram. Oh wait, what it is, like what my thing is?
Oh well, yeah, sure, we'll get there.
Okay.
You're hi, I'm Skyler.
Yes.
Yes.
I
Okay.
am. That is me right now. Anyway.
Yeah. That's smart. I like that. That's me right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. That might not be, but you are Skyler.
I mean,
do you have a stage name, or am I supposed to say your last name?
Just Skyler works.
Okay.
I mean, I'll be Skyler my entire life. Brand name, hi, I'm Skyler, might not be forever. I mean,
right.
When I go and start a new band eventually, hopefully soon, then that'll be its own thing as well.
Yes, but in 10 years, if someone watches this in 10 years, then
I'm Skyler.
You're just Skyler.
I'm Skyler.
The one and only.
The one.
You're like Cher. Okay, just one name.
It's my
Skyler.
name.
If you look up Skyler, it's him. Don't worry. Did you find a mass murderer on Google? Yeah, that was him. That was him.
If you look up like hi, I'm Skyler on YouTube, or like Knockout Official Band, you'll see me pop up.
Oh yeah,
because those are the two brands I've been associated with so far.
Cool.
The only two brands.
Were you hi, I'm Skyler when you were doing Knockout?
No, I was Knockout when I was doing Knockout.
Yeah, right. And I think that's probably the case with most people. Like they feel like whatever their brand is right now is going to be like that's their thing. That's what they're going to be forever. Like if you find this in 50 years, hi, I'm Skyler's still going to be going. Check out learnpianolive.com.
50 years. They've been on 50 years.
Well, there's the Rolling Stones. What they're like
that
a billion.
That is very true.
But anyway, so you're Haim Skyler.
Yes.
But all right, so tell me about the social media. What do you like? You hate Twitter because it just doesn't make sense to you.
It doesn't.
What do you like, and what kind of hacks are you employing to?
I think the easiest one to understand is Facebook for sure, because once you get into that cost-effective territory area and you want to get that social proof, those likes on your Facebook page, that's the easiest thing to do in the world. Like you pick out the cheapest places and the most cost-efficient territories on the planet. You could look that up really easily, and then you create a like ad pretty much for that target audience, and you just kind of rein in likes really cheap.
Yeah.
I got like 10,000,
Yeah.
and I don't think it took a little. It was a little more than 100 because I had to kind of hone in the craft first.
More than $100.
Dollars.
Thank you.
I had to, because at first it didn't work out perfect, but then I did it again, and it was like, okay, there we go, kind of there, and then I did it again, I was like, there we are, less than a cent per like. That's what I want. So if I were to start there now and do the whole thing over again, I could get to where I am for less than $100.
Yeah.
But it costed a little more. Either way, still pretty cheap for the amount of social proof it gives you. I think 10,000 likes.
Yes. Well, yes.
Yeah. So, and then
I think that's just Facebook employees that are getting paid to like you're paid. Not. I mean, with all due respect to what you're doing, but with that stuff, like I always wonder, like random people liking my thing from an ad. Like I've never clicked on an ad
really
in my life that I can remember. Like something pops up, Facebook is like, you'd probably like this. I'm like, I probably wouldn't, just because you said that I would. But I'm an old cynical man.
Yeah, I mean everyone's different, and the cool thing is you can see who interacts too. So it's not like everyone liked and was silent. There was people. There's people who clicked around and commented, and even if they're in a different language, I saw them. So
yeah,
it counts for something.
Okay. Okay, so
And
but
then-
you're right though. Like when someone goes to your Facebook page, like, oh, this guy's got 10,000 likes. Even if it is
Exactly.
all Russian bots, it's still 10,000 likes. They don't care.
Well,
It looks
they
good.
are real people. I don't think they're bots. So I know.
Sorry, I'm dumping on your fans over here.
It's all good. But yeah, so that's Facebook, and I think that algorithm's pretty easy to understand once you get the hang of it. The only thing is once you start targeting more real time fans in like America,
Yeah.
it gets a little harder because America's a more expensive territory to
Mhm.
advertise in. But I think once you have that social proof, that's where you start just working on the content, because that's how the fans flow in naturally. Because those fans who just like the page because they saw it scrolling through their feed and they're like, oh, that looks cool, they aren't really going to interact with your content as much as someone would as if they just stumbled upon it and be like,
Right.
oh, I really like this, I'm going to
Yeah.
follow him and see what he does next type
Yeah.
thing. And it's kind of the same for Instagram, but Instagram's a little different because when it comes to ads on Instagram, they run very differently.
Real quick, I want to get to Instagram. So Facebook, to wrap that up, pay for likes, game over.
Yeah, I would say get that social proof and
Okay.
just call it there,
Okay.
and keep consistently working on it, because it's just another
Consistently
platform.
working on it.
Like consistently working on your content, like
Right.
posting your content on
Yes.
the Facebook page.
Yeah, okay.
I think you should consistently post the content that you upload anywhere else on all of your social media platforms at the same time.
Yeah.
So that way everybody from every place sees it, and everybody from every place has a chance to get to that other place that you have,
Yeah.
the whole spectrum of social media.
Do you still interact with people on Facebook, or do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I interact. I have a little part of my day where I interact with everybody who interacted with everything on every social media page.
Ooh, man.
So I mean, I'm not going crazy with it. I'm only I'm on Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and I think that's it for the main pages. I mean, I
Yeah.
use some other social media, but they're very minor compared to those.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely. That's why people like you, and because you're nice to them. I just like dump all my stuff everywhere just splatter the internet with my content. I'm like, you know what? If you like me, you know where to find me. Pay me $15 if you don't care that much. Neither do I. It's been nice doing business with you.
Yeah,
But-
I try my best to interact. It's just, I think it's more because of the content that I create.
Mhm.
I'm not really trying to rein in money.
Mhm.
I'm just trying to build an audience that enjoys what I do.
Yeah.
So that way in the future, when I do need to make some money, they're there to support. They're
That's
ready.
Super smart, especially at your point in your career. Just
Because I'm not ready to make a bunch of money. I don't need to make a bunch of money right now.
Yeah.
I'll be fine when I have my part time and I'm busking. That's just enough money that I need, and I have enough money saved up to go to college without worrying about expenses.
yeah.
And then when I get out of college, I have like 2.5 years, 3 years. In that time, I can do it by then. I feel like I can. So
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't agree with any of that.
I mean, I've been doing it for a couple months now, and I think I'm on a pretty good roll.
yeah. And real quick, we didn't define busking before.
Oh, busking is just performing live on the street with a bucket or something and people tossing money.
Yeah.
And my friend does busking in a busy street for like 2 or 3 hours and makes like $80. So
I don't know why you would go get a job.
yeah, and you
That's
can't
pretty
do that
good.
all the time. You got to pick like the right time in the day and the right place.
Okay.
Because not every place is busy all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Cool. All right. So then Instagram. That's your
Instagram.
jam.
Yeah, Instagram. It's really easy to get a start. I feel it's really hard to keep growing. Like for example, first 2 weeks I was at 1,000, but then after that you start to lose that momentum because what you got from how you got that 2,000, I got it, or how I got that 1,000. I wish.
Quick
2,000.
growth right there.
I know.
Yeah.
I got that 1,000 because of the social part of it that I've grown beforehand.
Right.
My friends from school,
Yep.
my family, everybody else that watched my old band Knockout. And then after that, once I got that, it's kind of a slow progression and a very tedious progression. There's a lot of trial and error on this part. Like the first one is a very popular method for content creators is to go to similar creators, then go to their liked posts or their posts that have a lot of likes, right?
Okay.
So you go to similar content creator, you click a post, you click the likes on the post, and then you follow the people who like the post.
Okay.
So you don't go to their followers, you go to the people who liked
Okay.
the post.
Okay.
And those are the people who interact with it.
Right.
And then
And you like them so that they will check you out and then
Exactly.
like what you're doing Yeah.
Mhm. And so once you do that, you follow it. I think the max limit is 200 a day.
Okay.
You go to an analytics app that you download, and you unfollow the people who don't follow you back. And some people unfollow the people that follow them anyway, but I feel like I would lose followers that way since I'm only getting maybe like a 40 out of 200 ratio here.
Yeah.
I feel like I would lose a very big chunk of that.
You would.
Yeah.
I know from experience. I treat Instagram like I treat everything else. So I didn't follow any. Like I followed like 50 people. They were like all my friends and family and stuff. And my followers stayed at like 400 or 500 or whatever. And so I finally like outsourced that job to someone else. I'm like, you know what? Why don't you take care of Instagram? They started following people, and now it's like over 1,000.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah. I think the best way to get more followers on Instagram, from what I've seen, not from what I've done, but like my girlfriend is a huge example of this. She's a TikTok girl, so she makes a lot of those videos. TikTok is another platform.
Yes, right. Okay.
But basically, since her videos do well, there's other Instagram accounts that post videos from that one place.
Yeah.
And so when she gets featured on those pages, everybody follows her. Like there was one that had 2.2 million followers, and she got posted, and she got like 20,000 followers.
Okay. How many is she up to right now?
I think almost 30,000.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's all about, I think, really just creating content that people would recognize and people would, click on. Because as soon as somebody recognizes you and posts you on their page,
right,
I think that's where the most traffic flows in. But one little disclaimer here: don't do the paid ones. Don't do the ones that they hit you up and they're like, hey, $20 for a post and a feature on my page. It's bullcrap. It's all bullcrap. I tried that. Because once I was starting to post my content and all the music pages were seeing it and be like, oh, I can feature you on my page. And I was like, oh, cool. My girlfriend kind of does this and she got a huge following. Maybe I can do it too.
Right.
And I paid. And I kept doing it with different pages to see if it would be different each time. 80,000, 200,000, 300,000 followers. I think one of them had 800,000 followers. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Huh. Okay. There's no interaction. I looked at some of the comments on some of the posts, and it's just like, hey, can I get a shout out? Can I get a shout out? Even if it gets 8 to 40,000 views, I got like 3 or 4 followers.
Yeah.
There was one account that it wasn't a feature. They created an ad, and I got like 300 followers that way.
Wow. Okay.
And it was about the same price as the ones that were asking for a feature, like $20 or something. So that was cool, but I don't know if they're real followers or not.
Right. Yeah.
So I can't tell if it's legitimate.
Yeah. That's that's similar, but not the same as my experience with Instagram stuff. Because for my products, we try to target a lot of like homeschool moms and stuff, and so we end up targeting bloggers that homeschool moms follow. So then once they feature our product, then the people who are already following them, we already know the reason they're following them is to look for things to buy. So we end up paying for them, and they usually pay off decently. Some of them are duds, but it's to be expected.
Yeah.
Okay, so up to 1,000, you say is pretty easy, and then after that, now we also have the thing of like you were in high school and like you're freshly out. I wonder how that affects your ability to make the social connections and to be that person. Do you feel like there's any effect there or no?
That's kind of funny because I was not a social person at all in high school. I was very antisocial in high school. I liked my little group of friends. Okay. I liked hanging out in one room all day, and that was good enough for me. When it came to my band, I was very social outside of high school in the music scene. Right. And I met a lot of people, met maybe over 100 bands, and I know all these people. I'm very social outside of high school.
Yeah.
So when I graduated high school, that didn't really change for me. I did lose a little bit of my my social presence in the music industry, the local music industry, just because we're not a band anymore. Right. I'm not playing local shows every weekend or anything, and I'm not going to that many shows. I'm at home working on my stuff.
Yeah.
But my social presence, I don't think decreased. I think it definitely increased because I learned how to utilize it better as well. Because when I got out of high school, I had all this time on my hands, and that's how I've been using it.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, that's fantastic. And you're building up Hi, I'm Skyler. Now, and I'm sorry, the other one was what? The name of your band?
Knockout. That was the name of our band.
Knockout. Okay, cool. And then who knows what's next? And you keep talking about putting a band together. Is that like something that just in the works, or just something that you imagine is probably inevitable that you'll be in a band again?
I think it's inevitable.
Yeah.
I mean, I write all the time, and I really like performing. Writing music and performing music and having that interaction with a live audience in front of me, that is my favorite thing. That is what I want to do as a living.
Yeah.
So all of this YouTube stuff, it's not for YouTube. It's not because I want to be a social media presence. You know, it's just to build an audience that cares about what I'm making.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all. That's why I'm trying to be as genuine as possible in my videos.
Yeah.
And I have all this material. Like, since school's ended, I've written almost 50 songs. So I have just all this stuff I want to put out. And I know when my friend moves back, he's going to want to start some more music. He's already texting me about it.
Yeah.
And my other old drummer, you know, he does guitar really well, and he's the front man for his current project along with somebody else, and they do amazing. So I want him to be I want us all to be front men together, like all three of us. We can find a keyboardist, a drummer. I just want us three to be up together because I think we would have the most fun.
You're so cute. Yes, that's that's wonderful. That's fantastic. When you were doing, good heavens, I already forgot. Hang on, it's not Revolution. Why do I keep on saying Revolution?
Kapow.
Okay,
There you go.
that's why all your pictures are the karate thing. Is that it?
That's
Really?
Well, not on the YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
One of our old logos was like a fist.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll try to remember that. Okay, so when you're doing Kapow, I don't know. I forgot my question. Who's your front person then?
I was a front man.
Okay.
But it became this thing, like I was a front man at first, but they became so much more comfortable with it after a while. And it kind of just became, it was a trio, you know, I think without one of us, it would not be the same. You know? It was one of those things.
Okay. Cool. Nice. I think you definitely have a, like you have that, I don't know, like that John Lennon creativity, drive, like something important needs to happen here kind of vibe to you.
Ever since, I think it was like 6th grade, my friend showed me Pink Floyd. It was just like, this is my life now. Switching over from playing Xbox and going out and riding my bike and making weird crap outside to staying in my room with my friends and getting it all foggy and groggy and sweaty and playing a bunch of music.
Yeah. And wherever you end up, it seems like that's what you're going to likely fall into, is that role of like, but something needs to happen here. Like, let's get something done.
That's the plan.
So then tell me about the band breakup and stuff. Obviously, you're hoping someday everyone comes back and it happens again. But what happened there?
Well, it was kind of inevitable, the band breakup. I knew it was coming from a while back. And when Justice moved away, we had to split up. But
he went away to college or something.
He went to.
Just moved away.
He's taking a gap year.
Okay.
He needed to make some money, and he went and moved in with his mom in Idaho.
Oh, cool, beautiful.
Yeah, so he's coming back in March, somewhere between January and March, and then he's going to start college. Excuse me.
Anyone who's watched any of your videos is surprised that this is the first bodily function that we've experienced in this interview. All right, cool.
That's funny. But yeah, so when he gets back, we can start working on stuff again.
Cool.
Definitely going to take a different approach to the music. But either way, it should still be, we might even be able to connect more with the audience, I think, this way with our new material. Because, I mean, our audience is also growing with us. And our audience was pretty much the kids from high schools all around a 50-mile radius, you know?
Yeah, okay.
So.
Yeah, they have perhaps all graduated, or a large
Most
number
of
them. And they're all changing too.
Yep.
Wonderful. Okay, so we did social media. We did band stuff. Now you're also, in my opinion, the thing that sets you apart from the other bands, the thing that puts you above the threshold of like not an amateur band, is your mixing, your live mixing with each other. Just the how cohesive the sounds are. Of course, you do a lot of your own mixing, literally, on your own productions and stuff. So that's all very impressive. When's the first time you got into that world, and what are some of the main things that you listen for when you are arranging a song for your band? Let's say.
Well, when you say arranging, do you mean putting the song together like during a practice, or do you mean putting a song together during the mixing process?
Yeah, so let's say you're preparing for a live performance.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know who does what parts or what creates what?
Oh, we never
moods?
know. We never know. We just start playing and we see what happens. That's
Okay.
pretty much it. Like I'll bring my song in, right? I'll start playing it. Sometimes it'll be a halfway done song, and they'll start just playing. And then we'll change it up a little bit. Be like, oh, this might sound cool. Oh, this might sound cool. We'll just keep playing and playing and playing and all song over and over and over again. And they'll be like, all right, we're done. That sounds good enough. Take it. And then after playing it for a while, it changes more just from us playing it and realizing things here and there. That's some of the songs on the album we recorded were songs from 2 or 3 years ago, and they sound almost entirely different than how they did when we wrote them and put them together and arranged them then.
Yeah.
So I think the songs that we wrote were constantly being arranged.
Is that mostly the bands? Is that mostly the bands that are the band members that are like doing their own part? Like the drummer decides what he should do as a drummer, or is that like some other band member going, "Hey, on drums, you should do this thing here," or is it just a mix of all that?
A little bit of both. Well, at the beginning, it was definitely, I think, more my ideas and influence, but we kind of all started as nothing, like we started not knowing how to do something. And so as we grew, they learned their instruments better and they could, put their own ideas in that sounded really good without needing really much of input from me or anybody else at all. Because like a good example is Damien, the drummer. When we started the band, he had not played drums. Like it was just a couple months ago, I think something he picked up a little drum thing, and then kind of when we started the band was when he started playing drums, really started playing drums, and he got good so fast. Like he got really, really good. And so it went from me, oh, try this and try this fill, to him just figuring it all out on his own, and then me going like, that might sound cool, try this, and he'd be like, no, never mind, what you got is fine. What you got is fine.
Yeah, okay. That's cool. Yeah, I think a lot of what creates a band's sound is just that the individual band members' abilities on their own instruments and inabilities on their own instrument and stuff. Like whatever the drummer can do, hopefully you got a really good drummer who can do a lot of things, but whatever he can't do are the elements that get left out, and that creates a sound, so like that band sound is just that each member's own handicaps on their own instrument or whatever. So that's why I think it's really cool when you have a band that is growing. If they're growing individually, they're definitely growing as a band, because that drummer will start bringing in other things that he's working on, new things, ways that he's expanding. And of course, at that point, the drummer is better at drums than anybody else in the band. Hopefully that's the case.
Yeah.
And then you don't get as much input from the other.
It was a total competition between me and him too. Like he was like, "Am I better than you yet? Am I better than you yet?" It's so much fun.
Yeah, that's great.
I think an even bigger part though to our sound that I think plays a bigger impact or has a bigger impact than anything else is just us three as people playing together, because we've been playing together since middle school. We've been playing together for like 6-7 years, and we just kind of knew each other. We knew where we were going and what we were doing when we were together at practice. Like if we wanted to not look at each other at all, look completely different directions and all at the same time at the end of a song, we could do that because we just kind of knew. We can kind of read each other like that, which I think played a big part in how we blended during our releases. When our final release came out, and I think it blended really well because of that too. Yeah.
About how many shows would you say that you played with that band?
Over 100. Oh, I kept track until around 60, and then that was like halfway through before we broke up. So.
Yeah. And then was that all the same? How many songs did you guys have in your rotation at that point? Originals.
Finished originals that we played and released over 30.
Wow.
Songs that we trashed like 80.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the vast majority of them didn't make it, but
no.
So those 30 songs then, how many times would you practice a song, or for how long would you practice a song before it would get into the mix for a live performance?
It was kind of, it changed a lot throughout the process. Like when we started, it would take us a really long time, but then towards the end, when we wanted to learn a new song, I could bring it in and we would finish it up in about an hour or two. And then after then, it was just playing it, Yeah. We didn't really need to dial in parts too much, because we started to develop this thing where we would play each part individually. And we had this thing called suicide practice. We would go through. We would do like a practice a week or a practice every couple weeks. We would play through all of our songs, and if we messed up one song, we had to restart. It's kind of like doing suicides, you know?
Yeah, right. Wow, that's crazy.
It was still a lot of fun. It was like torture,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like fun torture, you know?
Yeah.
At least for me.
We'll bring them in for their own separate interviews. See
Yeah.
if they really think of you. Cool. All right. Well, thanks, man. And good luck. And check out Hi, I'm Skyler. At Hi, I'm Skyler.
This is Hi, I'm Skyler.
Hi, I'm Skyler.
You can go hiamskyler.com.
You can. That's
go
your thing
there.
now.
There is a website.
And then you got links to your Instagram and your whatever else, unless you're wanting to follow him on Twitter. And then good luck.
I don't even go on there anymore. So.
Yeah. But you have one?
I have one.
Do you post to it?
No. Oh, when I post a video, there's a share button, and I click it. That's it.
That's how I am with all of my social media.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right. Well, good luck, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, everyone follow him and check out his stuff. It's really good music. It is it sometimes uses potty words.
Potty words. I use potty words.
So like actual bad words. So all subscribers of kidslearnpianolife.com. Maybe wait a couple years. Ask your parents.
PG-13.
Yeah.
PG-13, somewhere in there.
But the music is great. I think the mixing is great. The mastering, your ability to hear the way sounds are supposed to fit together and stuff. I think it's really good.
Thank you.
You're really talented.
I appreciate it.
Wish you all the luck.
Thanks for having me.
All right.